Hi, welcome to this session where we're going to share with you what's new with working with OneDrive and with Outlook. This time we're going to focus on file sharing as a topic. My name is Mike Borch-Cardona. I'm a product manager at Microsoft, and today I'm joined by my colleague Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam van Lieshout. I'm a software engineer on Business Central as well.
So SMBs often need to bring people together to collaborate on business documents, on different files. And they do that to get review, to get contributors together, to edit those documents and share them across the organization, sometimes with users who are, with people who are not Business Central users, actually, I should say. The Outlook inbox is also a great source of incoming files from customers, from vendors, from other business contacts. And as those files come into the organization there are people who work with those files in Outlook and use that to kick off business process flows, connect those files with Business Central records, and they need to do that within Outlook. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to talk about some simple enhancements inside the Outlook add-in to help you connect files that are incoming in emails with Business Central records. We'll take the opportunity to also look at some other enhancements inside the Outlook add-in. And then we will cover file sharing and new capabilities we have inside the Business Central web client and how you can do that with OneDrive and how you can extend that as a developer as well. So let's take a tour now of a typical scenario where this would play out and this would be useful. Here I am inside Outlook and I've just received an email, actually it's part of an email thread with one of my long-standing customers, Trey Research. And notice this, as this thread evolved, they've asked for a quote for some products that we're selling. I've sent them the quote already, and they followed up with some additional information and some additional requests as well. And that includes some file attachments. Now here on the side, I've got my Business Central contact insights. It gives me insights about this particular email sender, Trey Research, and everything that Business Central knows shows up inside the contact insights pane. So as I slide down, let me go find the quote that I was working on for this particular email thread. It's this one here. Now, I'd like to attach these files to this quote. And to do that, I'm just going to go to Attachments. And now I've got multiple ways to do this, but I'd like to attach the files that are on the email to this record in Business Central. I get to choose which one of these files. I'm going to take all of them for now. Let's add those. There they are. They've been added. So now, with just a few clicks, those files have gone from the email to the sales quote registered inside Business Central. And anyone in the back office can immediately begin working with those and processing those. Now, as you can see, space is a little bit tight here in this pane on the side because Outlook essentially now has 4 panes, 4 vertical strips of content. So, space is a premium. So if I want to do more with this particular sales quote, if I want to edit the quote, what I probably want to use is this button here. This opens up the quote in a new window. So I've now got this floating window here. And that will essentially zoom into this very same sales quote record and bring it up so I have a lot more working space. And it's now a pop-out window disconnected from Outlook, but still running in that Outlook context and still focused on that quote. Now, here we've made a number of changes. First of all, you will notice that there's the sort of signature Business Central web client UI. And that's actually very meaningful in this case, because now I've got the full power of Business Central inside this window. I can make my edits to this sales quote. I've got all of the features, all of the bells and whistles, such as being able to focus in on these sales lines and edit those. I can sort of open in Excel and edit in Excel. I've got the smooth and fast scrolling experience. So not only is this a familiar experience that is essentially based on the web client, so anyone who's a web client user will understand how to use this very well, but it also comes with a ton of interesting features, right? Such as the ones I just mentioned, but also more. Things that are new inside Outlook, inside this Outlook pop-out here. So for example, I can do things like share to Teams, I can copy link. And I mean, look at it, there's everything here that you know and are familiar with from the web client. Now, that consistency of experience is actually pretty important, because as we have users who transition between working in the web client, working in Outlook, maybe working from Teams as well, we really want to have that familiarity of experience as they transition there. So the pop-out window now, when you pop out a sales quote or another record, will give you that familiarity as well. So now I'd like to share this record, this sales quote, with one of my colleagues, with Sam. Let's do Share to Teams. In the Share to Teams window, I will find Sam. There we go. Hi, Sam. Check out this quote. I hear you were working on a pitch deck for this customer. And I'll share that with Sam. Note that I haven't yet opened up Microsoft Teams myself. I can remain within context, within working here in Business Central from Outlook, and it's all beautifully sequenced together. So that's what it looks like from my perspective, working inside Outlook. Now, Sam, let's see what it looks like from your perspective, responding in Teams.
Great, yes. So I'm here in Teams right now, and I can see I got this message from Mike. So I click on it, and I see, exactly. He's asked me to check out this quote. So I'll go ahead and click the link and see where it takes me. I'm not sure which customer they're talking about, because there's a few different pitch decks I've been working on. Yes, okay, so I can see that this is a sales quote for Trey Research. So I can go ahead and navigate to the customer card from here, because I had previously attached the pitch deck. So last release, we added the open in OneDrive action here. So I can go ahead and open this pitch deck. I just want to really double check it is the correct one. Cool, yeah, so it's opened up in PowerPoint, and I can see that this is indeed the Trey Research pitch deck. So I can go ahead and share this back with Mike. So I can say, Mike, hey, Mike, as requested, here is the pitch deck. And send. Fantastic. Now, I also know that Mike had attached some attachments to the sales quote. So I just want to take a quick look at those. And I can see that there's a brochure available here. And I know some people in our back office are very interested in the Trey Research's brochure. So I can go ahead and click Share, which is a new action that we've added for this release. And this behaves similarly to Open in OneDrive in that it will upload the document to OneDrive, but it cuts out the middle step and just immediately shows the share dialog within Business Central. And you'll see it looks very similar to the share dialog that we just saw in PowerPoint, and that's because it's exactly the same. So I can go ahead and share with Anders, who is in our back office, and say, hey, Anders, please look at the brochure and check if we need to update our inventory. Hit send. Great. Yes, so I can go ahead and close this, and then I'm back in the Business Central context. So I can go and share the file again. And because this takes the file from Business Central and tries to upload it to OneDrive again, the file already exists, so it asks what we want to do with it. In this case, we can choose to replace the file. And what that actually does is add a new version of the file to OneDrive so that all changes are tracked in the version history. So I can say OK to this, and then we get the share dialog back again. But what's interesting is because I already shared this file previously, I can actually look at the old link that we just generated and modify the behavior of that and get the full kind of link editing experience that the share control has across all of Microsoft 365. But for now, this is fine. I just wanted to copy the link again. So now Anders can check out this brochure that we just shared, and back to you, Mike.
Wow, so now we have the native file sharing experience that everyone knows from OneDrive, from SharePoint and other Office applications, right here inside Business Central, the same experience that everyone is familiar with. So let's summarize what we just saw in this demo. So first of all, users save time in Outlook, and they reduce context switching this way by being able to take advantage of capabilities like this, the Contact Insights pane, but also attaching files from the email and relating that to a record. And basically any Business Central record that supports the attachments fact box, the attachments concept, is able to do this from inside Contact Insights. And this also complements very similar functionality we have for incoming documents, which is mostly used for sort of sending documents from Outlook to your back office team who will go and process those things. For example, purchase invoices for payment. We also saw the Outlook pop-out window and how the experience there has changed between previous versions and now how it behaves and looks in update 20. And here, just like in Teams, you have this simple progression from the compact Contact Insights pane, and opening that in a new window, you get more working space and much richer functionality inside that window.
As we just demonstrated, the new share experience within Business Central, it offers a familiar experience across the Microsoft 365 suite. And the way it works functionally is that it will take the file from Business Central and copy it to your OneDrive for Business, and then shows the share options, which allow you to either send a link, copy a link, or edit existing links. Another improvement that we've added across the product is that any feature that connects to non-Business Central services will now show a privacy notice the first time this integration occurs. It's a one-time consent per user and per service. And this just gives the flexibility and control to the user to really decide where the Business Central data is sent. So we've included this for features that are enabled out of the box. So this includes like Teams, OneDrive, as you saw, and Outlook. Cool.
Now, the privacy of our customers' data is very important to us. And of course, a conversation about privacy wouldn't be complete without taking the administrator's perspective on this as well. So let's take a look now at what the admin experience is. And we'll start with privacy, actually. We'll start there. So when it comes to privacy compliance, admins are often tasked with managing that for their organization, making decisions on behalf of the organization. So while Sam showed how end users would consent to basically connecting Business Central to OneDrive with that one-time privacy consent dialog, administrators actually have more control over all the connected services. So there's new pages we've added where admins can go in, they can see the overview of services that Business Central connects to, and from there they can manage privacy for each of these services. In fact, we expect that over time, all applicable service connections will show up here so that admins can manage privacy, not just for the service connections made by Microsoft and the Microsoft Business Central base application, but also partner extensions as well that add connections across services. Now, speaking of administration, when it comes to file sharing, admins are in control. And what does that mean? It means that the choice of link settings that Sam showed earlier, they're actually governed by policies that are set in the SharePoint Admin Center. OneDrive is really a part of SharePoint. So the SharePoint Admin Center is where you go to manage those. And you've got all kinds of policy you can set up around, do you allow file sharing outside of your organization with external users? What are the defaults that you want your users to experience inside that file sharing dialog? And these are not settings unique to Business Central. These are shared settings that are common with all of Office. And what that means is that if, as an admin, you've already set these up, they will immediately work with file sharing in Business Central. Okay, so you're probably wondering, with all these great capabilities, what's in it for me as a developer? And to talk about the development experience, I'll hand back to Sam.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, so in the previous launch event where we demonstrated the open in OneDrive functionality, we built an extension which extended the posted sales invoice card to add the open in OneDrive action to the print send options. So I thought it would be fun for this launch event to take the same extension we built previous release and update it for this release with our new share action. So I just wanted to show the old extension, which was just this page extension, which added this open in OneDrive action. And then, as you can see, it has the boilerplate code for that. And for share, it's very similar. We have the same kind of boilerplate for the share action and a new helper to call to pass a blob to the share dialog. And you can see for the app manifest itself, the only thing you need to change is from version 19 to 20. So it's super easy to uptake. So I can go ahead and publish this extension now. So I can go back to Business Central, I can close the page and reopen it so we get the new extension. And as you can see under the print and send menu, we have the share action. So I can now go ahead and share, and this will then generate the invoice, upload it to OneDrive, and then present the share dialog all in one go with minimal code changes required by the partner. So I can go ahead and send this back to Mike. Super easy. So when implementing your own custom share action, there's a few key areas I'd like to highlight. So there's the caption, tooltip, and image that we would like to keep consistent across all the share actions in the product. That way our users can identify very easily that this is a share action and what the action will do. Then there's this other enabled property, which is important to set, that ensures that the connection to OneDrive is enabled. For example, if the privacy notice has been disagreed to, then the action will be disabled. And finally, this is the helper that you should call that will take the blob and put it to OneDrive and present the share options. There's also a helper in the system module that you can call as well if you're not depending on base app. I just used base app for convenience here. There's a few other design considerations we would like to share. First is that we highly recommend having the share open download pattern across all the implementations of the share, just so everyone knows what kind of actions to expect whenever they come across one of these. We also highly recommend that you look at these existing implementations elsewhere in the product for inspiration on where to get started. And again, as you pass in-stream for what gets uploaded, it's really any kind of data type that you can put there. Similar to open in OneDrive, the previewer in OneDrive will show, support some different file types. But so if it's a proprietary file type, it may have trouble showing some kind of preview there. And finally, for on-prem, we have changed the required scopes that your AAD application will need. This is to support the additional permissions that the share dialog needs. We've updated the documentation there, and it shouldn't take more than a minute or two to update your AAD app. So yeah, there are plenty of additional resources and documentation that you can check out here for managing your OneDrive integration. And Mike, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. And of course, if you're looking at extending the OneDrive integration, but also working these experiences into your extensions, we highly recommend taking a look at this documentation here. So congrats, you've made it to the end of this session. So why not explore what else is new in the world of connecting Business Central to Microsoft 365 applications. Check out our session around working with Microsoft Teams. Also, we have a great session on working with Excel layouts, Excel report layouts. And if you have more time, check out our session about what's new in the clients as well, where there's some really interesting features there that we have for you. So that wraps up our session. We're already hard at work on the next great thing in integrating Business Central with Office applications. In the meantime, please keep the feedback coming. We do listen, and we do like to take that together as a team, understand your feedback, and see how we can work it into Business Central to keep evolving our integration with Office applications. And keep the great ideas coming. You can submit your ideas at aka.ms/bcideas. So, on behalf of the team, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session.
Thank you, and thanks for watching.